All right, big press conference today. The city unveiling its newest plan for the Hippodrome project, the old Bluebonnets project. I want to have a couple of people weigh in here, but before we do that, Jason Magder, who was on with us earlier, just really quickly, and thank you for coming back on, Jason. Can you just tell us what's in this plan? What the city announced today?
Yes, I can tell you. They announced a lot of things today, but the main thrust of what they're announcing is the master plan for the long-abandoned Hippodrome sector. When the horse racing stopped, the land ended up back in the city's hands, and it's supposed to be an ideal spot for development. The only problem is that there's a road sector that's totally congested. So the city plans to build what they call its first carbon-neutral neighborhood, 20,000 units, 10,000 in the old horse racing sector, the 10,000 very close by. And the whole idea is to not discourage the use of the car, so there will be a tramway that will be linking everyone within the sector, but also to the Namur Metro. And the idea is that it would be a 5, 10, and 15-minute city, all in that same area. Schools, parks, sports facilities, even a CLSC and healthcare institutions are planned for the area. Big development, and they're hoping that at least half of that would be what they call non-speculative housing. So that's supposed to mean, I think, affordable and social, and mixes of something related to that.
Okay, and how many would be like that? How many units that way?
About 10,000.
10,000, so half.
Half of everything,
okay.
Yeah.
Jason, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really do. That's Jason Magder over at the Gazette. Rick Leckner, CJD Wall of Fame traffic reporter, is on the line. So is Dida Berku, city councilor in Côte St. Luc. Dida, you wrote me this morning, already upset about this plan because what Jason didn't mention here, but what we talked about earlier on, is there is no extension for Cavendish linking it north and south in this master plan. Rick, I spoke to you this morning as well. We were texting back and forth. Let me start with you, Rick. What's new here? Because it doesn't seem like anything is new here related to Cavendish.
But the mayor is 19 days late. April Fool's was on the 1st. This is really, I mean, there's some very good aspects to this, but unfortunately there are some exceedingly bad aspects to this in terms of mobility. And once again, the mayor has not kept her word. And as Jason mentioned, they got the land in 2017 from Quebec. However, there was a condition, which Dida can well explain, and which most of us know now, is that they would fund the Cavendish extension or the preparations of the Cavendish extension by putting $10 to $15 million in a year. They amassed over $100 million, but they've spent the money elsewhere. So there's nothing in this plan that speaks to true mobility at a time when they are just going to make a bad situation much worse. As we know, that sector is terribly congested. Mobility is a problem. Security is a problem because when the carrier's blocked, there's no other way out. So there's just so many bad things about this. But the problem is that it just does not address the real issue. The solution, I think, maybe 18 months from now when there's an election.
Okay, let me leave it at that. You mentioned Dida. I said Dida Berku, city councilor in Côte St. Luc, is on the line. Dida, you heard what Rick had to say. You know what's in this plan now, and you're most upset, as I think a lot of people are, that even though the mayor promised she'd get on that Cavendish Boulevard extension, that's not necessarily the case here, right?
Well, she's been on your show so many times saying, yes, Cavendish will definitely happen, and every time she says it, she then adds that it's complicated. And even this morning at the press conference, I just heard her interview, and she said, there's hydro, there's CP. There's been hydro and CP for the past 20 years. It's not so complicated. And Hydro-Quebec has told us there's no impediment. They have a major project going through Cavendish, and it doesn't impact the Cavendish extension. So all the excuses are really just that. They're just, unreasonable and not truthful. The problem and the major issue is that, like Rick says, they've taken the focus off of Cavendish, taken the money away from Cavendish, and even violated the agreement that they made with the Quebec government in 2017. And now the whole focus is on a Jean Talon tramway. That's not going to solve the problems. And our position and the position of all the three cities, TMR, Côte St. Luc, Saint Laurent, the boroughs, everyone around that area, all the businesses, to build Cavendish first. Cavendish has to come first. Cavendish is the true accelerator that's going to promote development. They're not going to have development if they don't have an access along the Cavendish Boulevard. That's, to us, it's very clear.
Dida, let me stop you for a second. One thing you mentioned to me, and I was not aware of this. So first of all, what we understand in this plan is Cavendish could be extended from right now from the 40 only into the Hippodrome. It would end at the track, so it would not go any further south. But you say that's in a plan. When is that supposed to happen? Did you say 2050?
No. There is a plan that the city revealed last AGLO meeting in March. It's called the 2050 Mobility Plan. And in that 2050 Mobility Plan, there's a tramway running down Cavendish.
Okay.
It's actually running from Jean Talon South and then from Jean Talon North. But we're not going to wait till after 2050 to, even attempt to put in a tramway. You need a roadway for a tramway. The tramway doesn't just float in the air. We've got to build the roads. We've got to build the base. So you need one car. They presented what needs to be done in 2022. All the cities agreed. All the partners agreed. 1 lane of car traffic, 1 lane for mass transit, 1 lane for bikes. We compromised. We said, okay, go for it. They went to the BAP. They filed at the BAP. Now what did they do? They pulled the plug again. They pulled the plug, and now their entire focus, all their financing and all their planning is based on a tramway to Jean Talon so that we can take, a tramway ride in the Hippodrome, a dead end. Really?
That tramway, by the way, if I understand it, is going to run all the way east as far as where, like the east end of the city? P9.
11 kilometers. Well, that's their Jean Talon Réseau Vélo.
Uh-huh.
They're it's everything has now shifted, and the Quebec government is also very much responsible and very much to blame, because at today's press conference, I heard Plan say, "Oh no, it's just a Montreal." No, it's not just Montreal. The Quebec government, Minister Bachand, the Minister of Finance, and all the ministers who were responsible, and Minister Girard as well, they have to be accountable, and should be accountable for the fact that they gave a piece of land for $1 on one condition. One condition, and you know that condition, and we all know it, to build Cavendish. And Cavendish is the key to the redevelopment of the entire Namur de la Savane sector, and it's the key to joining up Saint Laurent to Lachine and bringing the workers from La Salle who are begging us to be able to go to CAE to work on Côte d'Iliès. We need that access route, and we need it now before they start pouring in the money into all the infrastructure. And this tramway is going to go where? On Côte des Neiges and Jean Talon? And how long is that going to take?
Dida, let me leave it there. Rick, I want to come back to you for a second. So I know what you said. This is going to take a while to get changed because obviously there's a municipal election next year. The city says there'll be a consultation after this is done. I mean, I think a lot of us have heard that term before, that idea before. We know how they turn out. What are you expecting? I mean, is this a fait accompli? They're talking about sticking shovels in the ground by next year.
I don't believe it. I really don't believe it. And I hope it doesn't happen without a proper plan. This again speaks to what we have talked about many times, which is a lack of vision and a lack of proper planning. That area, as we have discussed, is so congested. Royal Mount hasn't opened yet. They continue to build condominium projects, other projects, mega projects in that area. The place is super saturated. People coming and going are hostages, getting in and out of that region. It's just not logical to do what she's doing. The only thing that she should do that would really hopefully open the door to this is make a promise that she would keep to institute the BAP or the environmental hearings. But that's not going to happen. So I think people have to understand that whatever was said today, unfortunately, as far as I'm concerned, is a pipe dream.
We're going to have to leave it at that. Dida, thank you. Rick, thank you. And we'll talk more about this later on. We're going to ask you about this coming back after 4 o'clock. Wow. Again, as she said, that we're talking about this since 2017 when the provincial government gave this land to the city. It's 7 years later. This is what they came up with.